Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Harden got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, break 3 to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome, Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple, but wait, there's more. Go to the show's page, go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, come on, man. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, yay. Please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Come on, baby. Get up with the program. All right, we have a mobile app, so wherever you get your apps from, and it doesn't matter where you get them from, whether it's iTunes or Google Play or Amazon or Walmart or Kmart, or 7-Eleven, or Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Weebolts, Woolworths, Venture, Goldblatts. It doesn't matter. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence, Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel right to your television. Put it there next to the big boys: Netflix, Hulu, Prime, HBO Max, Apple Plus, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Stars. Put us right there. Watch us on the big screen. How to run a big screen, right, Mickey? Vicky, now. Now, if you want to tweet the show, you can also tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did, because here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. All right, one handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. All right, guys, we had a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up in your thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best Chicago morning sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. And like the Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's see who we got in the chat. It's jumping a little bit. My man, Armando Emeterio, Lara Jr., my man Junior's in the house, checking in early. What's up, Papa? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Mashawn Walls in the Mickey Ficky house says a happy hump day. What up? Yeah, Levette Lee is in the house. He's checking in. He says a happy hump day, y'all. How you doing, man? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Brandon Schutz is in the house. Welcome back. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Thank you, sir. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. Levette Lee again says hello. She said, "What's up, Shawn? What's up, Levette? How you doing?" Yeah, so it was let me tell you something. So what happened was, so I got back from San Francisco in the evening, and I wanted to do a show, and then first of all, it took me a lot longer to get out of the airport than, my bag was the last one. Like, mine was the first one on, so was it the last? Was I the last one in? That's what it felt like. But anyway, I digress. So we get to my aunt's house, and she made us dinner. We're like, oh man. I was like, oh man, it was delicious. And it just, by the time we got out of there, and then I was exhausted, man. Holy cow, was I exhausted. Yeah, I was exhausted. So we didn't do a show, obviously, on Monday. And then unfortunately, I had some stuff to do on Tuesday. So that was also a no-go. But yeah, so I miss you guys. Believe you me, I miss you guys. Yeah. But I had a lot of stories, a lot of good stuff, good times in San Francisco. Like the Smoke Fellas always say, San Francisco was a whole vibe. San Francisco don't owe me anything after the time that I had there. It was just awesome. Awesome. All right, I'm uploading some pictures now. I was doing yeah, it was just nuts how. There we go. Just a good time, except for the Bears game. It's great, except for the Bears game. That's all I got to say. James Ford checking in. What's up, James? How you doing, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. So, there we go. There we go. Brandon Schutz says, "How's your flight?" Well, so I had a connecting flight. I had to change planes in Denver. I don't know. When I got the ticket, I don't know why I did that, but anyway, so both flights were good. Coming back, yeah, the second flight from Denver to Chicago, that was a lot less crowded, and no one had any seizures like they did on my way there. Holy cow, was that crazy? Whoo, was that crazy? But it was good. It was good. And I was able to watch. I started watching. They had the Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy, Bourne Ultimatum. The Bourne Supremacy is the one I watched, where they kill his girlfriend in the beginning. They try to set him up. Yeah, I was watching that, so that was good. They got the in airplane Wi-Fi, and so I brought my tablet. I knew I've flown Southwest before, so I knew they had that. And I didn't want to watch it on my phone. I'm like, no, let me bring a tablet. So that's really the only reason I brought the tablet was to watch the movies on the flight. But yeah, thanks, Brandon. Flight was good. But man, we got a lot to talk. We have a whole lot to talk today. Holy cow. But at 10 o'clock at the top of the hour, my man, our friend, good friend of the program, Glynn Morgan, is going to join the party. We're going to talk all things Bears. All things Bears. What's going on from the game? Because I didn't get a chance to express my feelings and talk to you guys about it on Monday. Wow. So Glynn's going to join us. She gets killed in the beginning. It's not Levette. She gets killed in the beginning. So yeah, Glenn's going to join us at 10 o'clock and talk all things Bears. We got a lot of other stuff to talk too. We got some baseball news. We got some college football news to talk as well. So we have a whole lot of bunch to talk. So as our old uncle Hawk Harrelson used to say, sit back, relax, and strap it down. Because we got a lot of good stuff. So listen, guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Yeah, the first top of the morning topic. We know where we're going to go with this one. Since it was our Bears. The Bears. What? Yeah, it was not good. Our Bears, unfortunately, fell to the San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara, 38-13. Let me tell you something. I was really it was well it was embarrassing, and I was hoping and praying that they wouldn't score that touchdown at the end of the first half to make it 28-0. The Bears held them to a field goal, so it was 24-0. But Caleb Williams, he was 17 of 23 for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns with a 116.9 rating. DJ Moore, 6 catches, 49 yards. Roma Dunze, 4 catches, 42 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, it was not a good day for the Bears. 7th consecutive loss. They're 4-2 at one particular point, and they've lost 7 straight. So the Bears, they travel up to Minnesota on Monday Night Football, baby. That's what we're talking about. Monday Night Football. They go to U.S. Bank Stadium, the stadium that Kevin Warren helped get off the ground, get built in Minnesota for a Monday night matchup against the Vikings. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Central Time. You can catch that game on Channel 7 here, locally, ABC 7, or also be on ESPN. You can listen to that or listen to it on their flagship station, AM 1000. That's ESPN 1000. I don't know if I could even think about picking them to win this. I don't have any confidence in them. Nothing. It's crazy. Well, folks, the college football playoffs are set. And man, are we fired up? Well, I'm fired up. I don't know about you guys, but I am fired up about it. Yeah, so peep this. This was, yeah. I thought I had downloaded the other one. But here's how it plays out. Next weekend is the first round. All right, so Friday night, 7 o'clock, channel ABC Channel 7, ABC 7 locally, and also on ESPN. Indiana travels up to go see Notre Dame, 2 Indiana schools, for the first game in the college football playoff, first round game of the college football playoff history. Remember, it was just they had the final 4 first for however long it was. Now they've expanded it to 12. So number 10 Indiana at number 7 Notre Dame, Friday 7 o'clock. Saturday, number 11 SMU is at number 6 Penn State. That's a nice early start. 11 o'clock in the morning Central Time. You can catch that game on TNT. The next game is Clemson. Is number 12 Clemson at number 5 Texas. That game is at 3 o'clock Central, obviously right after the SMU Penn State game. And that game is also on TNT. Then the final game of the weekend, excuse me, number 9, Tennessee at number 8, Ohio State. That game is at 7 o'clock. That game is on ESPN. Those are the 8 teams that are playing that next weekend. And the 4 teams with the bye. Number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Number 1, Oregon. Number 2, Georgia. Number 3, Boise State. Number 4, Arizona State. Arizona State jumped up and knocked out Notre Dame. Well, Notre Dame fell a little bit due to the conference championships. Boise State jumped up in there. That's crazy. That's really, really, really nutso. Notre Dame fell from 4 to 7. Boise State and Arizona State leapfrogged them. But that's what you get when you don't when you're not in a conference and can't win the conference championship. Brand, how about some baseball? We got some baseball news coming. Don't worry, Papa. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Next topic, the Heisman Trophy is going to be handed out this Saturday. Finalists are Oregon quarterback Dylan Gabriel, Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty, Colorado two-way superstar Travis Hunter, and Miami quarterback Cam Ward. Those 4 will be in New York for the ceremony. It seems like it's a lock, in my opinion. It seems like it's a lock for Travis Hunter. I think Ashton Jeanty put up a good fight, but I think it's the competition, the level of competition that he played at. And it's just tough to say Travis Hunter is not the best college football player in the country. It's tough to say that. All right, with him playing both sides of the ball, very rarely coming off the field. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So I think it's just a foregone conclusion that Travis Hunter wins the Heisman Trophy. That'll be a great, great thing for him. Next top of the morning topic, the Blackhawks tomorrow are on Long Island. They travel to New York to take on the Islanders. Puck drop is at 6:30 Central Time. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 7:20 a.m. The next top of the morning topic, the Bulls. The Bulls have a nice little vacay. They can hit the practice floor a lot this week. As the Bulls, they host the Hornets on Friday. They have been off for a few days. They're off today and tomorrow. They play Friday. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network as well, or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. The next top of the morning topic, here's a sad note. Wow. Ryan Sandberg. Chicago Cubs legend Ryan Sandberg announced on his Instagram page. All right, he announced on his Instagram page that unfortunately his cancer has returned and it is spread. Here's what he put. He said, "To my Chicago Cubs, National Baseball Hall of Fame, the city of Chicago, and all my loyal fans, I want to share an update on my prostate cancer. Unfortunately, we recently learned that cancer has relapsed and it has spread to other organs. This means that I'm back to more intensive treatment. We will continue to be positive, strong, and fight to beat this. Thank you for your thoughts and prayers for me and my family. Ryan Sandberg." That's a tough one. And you guys know, let me take this down. You guys know I give Cub fans a lot of shit. All right. And, their team. But I'm not going to lie to you. I was a big fan of Ryan Sandberg growing up. All right. Big fan of Ryan Sandberg. Okay. I just think he was a great second baseman. I just think he was, the way he played the game was fun to watch. Back in was 83, the daily double, Bobby Dernier, center fielder led off, Ryan Sandberg was second. And they were on Channel 9, so we got to watch all the games. So we wish, thoughts and prayers out to him and his family because now he's back in the fight again. All right, it's spread to more organs. So much love and many thoughts and prayers go out to you, Rhino. Because putting my baseball allegiance aside, this is a human issue and not a sports team issue. So we wish you well. We wish you a speedy recovery. Yeah. The next top of the morning topic, we got some baseball. The White Sox. The White Sox signed Michael Tauchman from the Cubs, a veteran outfielder from Palatine, so local product. So he doesn't have to move. So wherever he was living this past year for the Cubs, he could just stay there. And I don't know, I can't say if his commute's going to be longer or shorter because I don't know where he lives, but he's staying in the same city. Okay, and the thing about the Tauchman signing is it looks like he's going to be they signed Austin Slater as well. The White Sox did, so it looks like it's going to be a right field platoon with those two guys this season. Let's see the next top of the morning topic. Stay with the White Sox real quick. The White Sox get the 10th pick in the Major League Baseball draft. And you're wondering, well, wait a minute. Didn't they have the worst record in the history of baseball? You should get the number 1 overall pick. Yes. You would think. However, all right, and this is according to Shawn in today's Chicago Sun-Times. I'm going to read it. Major League Baseball has discouraged tanking. So because of the rules, the 10th pick was the highest pick that they're awarded. All right, the Nationals won the first pick. So the White Sox got the 10th pick in the first round, but in rounds, every other round, 2 through, I forgot how many rounds there are in a baseball draft, they will have the first pick in the second, third, fourth, fifth, and accompanying rounds because of the worst record. All right. Also, the White Sox get the pick in the Rule 5 draft today as well. So it looks like you're going to have a chance to pick up some good prospects, some good young players. But the most important thing you got to figure out is who's going to be your manager. Because although the interim manager is going to stay on, he's going to stay on staff. However, he's not going to be the manager. He's going to be an offensive coordinator, I think is what they said. It's like, offensive coordinator? What the hell is that? Will Venable is the new manager, and he's keeping Grady Sizemore as the new offensive coordinator. Never heard of an offensive coordinator on baseball, but I guess you can do what you want to do when you're the White Sox. I guess so. Let's see, man. We got a lot more people in the chat. No, I didn't watch The Voice last night. No. Mr. Shorty's in the house. What's up, Popeye? Says happy hump day, zoners. Hope you at least had fun in San Francisco. I did. Thank you. Prayers for Sandberg. Yes. Junior says, I remember this. I remember the Sandberg game like it was yesterday. Yeah, he hits 2 homers in the 9th and the 10th inning off of Bruce Sutter, the top. I think he was the top reliever in the top closer at the time in baseball. My man Mondo said Tuckman is the best player on the White Sox war-wise. He probably is. Probably is. Jason says, tanking? The White Sox were terrible. How the hell were they tanking? We're not bad on purpose. We're just bad. Yes. Yes. And you know what? And it bit us in the butt because we weren't tanking, and we should be able to have the number 1 pick because we weren't tanking. We just sucked, but MLB rules prohibit that. Yes, I did, Brandon. I was going to mention that as well. A new, where is that? Something, Arlington Heights passed a new law or passed a bill where the the Bears, all right, which I thought was really good. They will be charged, they'll be taxed at $3 million for the land. And I'm trying to find it exactly because I don't want to misspeak. But what's the great part about it is that they'll be charged $3 million. I want to say, let me not misquote. It's going to be for like 8 years, 9 years. Oh, come on. Now you're not. Oh, goodness. Now they're not giving it to me here. All right. But anyway, we'll get to it. Yeah, so they got the tax issue ironed out, which is great. All right, it makes it easier for them for the Bears to go and to start or put shovels in dirt. All right, if you're getting charged $3 million only in taxes, that's a good deal. That's a great deal, actually. So my question is, it just goes to show you how bad they were trying to screw over the White Sox to begin with. You know what I mean? That goes to show you how bad they're trying to screw them over. So if you're willing to take $3 million, like, wait a minute, you tax this at 150 something million? Like, what? Come on, man. You guys are crazy. So, yes, I did hear about that news, and thank goodness that they finally came to a resolution. So here's what we're going to do. Here. Let's take a quick break. All right. On the other side of the break, we'll have more top of the morning topics. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Skill guys. Second down and 8. Williams' pass is caught for a first down by Odunze. Shanahan gets another challenge because he won one of the first two. Now the Bears pick up a first down of theirs, number 950. Now the 49ers with a win today will pick up their 6th win in the second half. Long 9-minute drive to begin the third quarter. Unfortunately for the Bears, the turnover committed by Williams on the last same page, so there's a lot to build on for the Bears offensively. Second and 8 to the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. Odunze, his second. Here in the second.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. Those are our boys Sunday out in Santa Clara. Great job of Steve-O by getting the great job of Steve-O by getting the probably some of the only good play. Where the hell? Oh man, that's crazy. Oh, that is crazy. Let's see. Mr. Shorty said we did the all 22 last night. Here to take me. The O-line and D-line suck. Cole Kmet's a terrible blocker. TJ Edmonds, Tremaine Edmonds misses assignments on Kittle all day. And that was the one thing they got on. I mean, the one thing they said, like he's tall, he can run, he's 6'5", and he can run. So he should have been able to stick with. Man, oh man, oh man. It's god awful. God awful. You know, I don't even know what to say. One of the last things I wanted to talk about, this is crazy. So you guys know that Juan Soto signed with the Mets. 15 years, $765 million, right? Okay, we know that. But here's the crazy part. He stayed in New York City. He was going from the Bronx to Queens, and he wants to keep his number 22. There's a small problem. There's already a guy on the Mets who has number 22. Brett Beatty wears number 22. Okay? So now, there's two things that need to happen for him to keep, for Juan Soto to get number 22. First, he has to work out a deal with Beatty to be able to wear 22. That's for starters. I think we knew that. That we knew was going to have to happen. Secondly, and most importantly, according to CBA rules, this is coming from Bleacher Report. All right, Adam Wells from Bleacher Report writes, Soto would need to then purchase the existing merchandise inventory with Beatty's name and number on it, per a rule in the collective bargaining agreement. The rule stipulates that a player number changes must be requested by July 31st of the previous season, but there are two possible exceptions available. One is the already listed method of purchasing the remaining inventory. The other is if the player who previously wore the number changes teams, which doesn't apply in this situation since Beatty is still on the Mets. The situation arose last year when Carlos Santana signed with the Twins and had a deal with Joe Ryan to wear 41. Major League Baseball informed Santana he would have to pay $225,000 to buy out the remaining number 41 merchandise with Ryan's name on it. Santana said, forget that. He instead decided to wear number 30 with the Twins rather than pay that amount. It doesn't say how much he would have to pay. It doesn't say how much he'd have to pay. Yeah, I'm looking at. Yeah, it doesn't say, but he may not want to pay it. He may not want to pay it. So that's just a little thought. I just thought that was kind of crazy. Just thought that was crazy. MLB rule. So thought that was nuts. Here was Sunday at the game, Levi Stadium out in San Francisco. I was told I can't say San Fran. The locals don't say San Fran. It's the Bay, San Francisco, but you can't say San Fran. Stadium is gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Let me tell you something. I hope we get one of these bad boys. I hope we get one of these bad boys. And I know this is an open stadium. We're going to get a dome one. That's fine. But you give the amenities like this. They had some cool stuff outside. Big Nike thing. You see the football here. If you look to the right of the football, you see stairs. So that's actually a slide. So kids are sliding. You see the little kid here by the shoe. Little kids will walk up the stairs, slide down the slide in the football. They had to the left of it, they had a little strip of turf. It was like 20 yards, 30 yards, but they marked it off. It was shrunk. It looked like it was what? They had like the whole 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, the whole football field, but it wasn't obviously 100 yards. They had kids running, doing stuff like that. I know because some of you guys asked me. This is Mrs. Doubtfire's house. That was one of the things I wanted to see. Here, Alcatraz, as you see. I got locked up in Alcatraz. This was the yard. This was the yard in Alcatraz. This is crazy. And I was wondering, when we first walked in, you saw the showers. When we first at the doorway we came in. I'm wondering how many people got shanked in the shower throughout the years. The same thing. How many people got jumped or beat up out here in the yard? Look at here's the 3 levels of inmates, of cells, I should say. Then San Francisco cable car, which I got to get on, which was dope. So I know some of you guys asked if If I had fun, I did. I had a really, really, really good time. I definitely would love to go back. Most likely going to go back. But those are just a couple of pictures from the trip. If you don't follow me on Facebook, make sure you follow me on Facebook. I'm going to upload some pictures today, just a photo dump of a lot of the pictures that I had. Yeah. So it was quite a good time. Good time that I had in San Francisco. Like like the smoke fella said, man, it was a whole vibe. In San Francisco, don't owe me nothing, man. I had us a blast. I went up to the place called Top of the Mark, the hotel next door to mine, which I stayed at the Stanford Court in San Francisco, and this thing called the Top of the Mark. It's a rooftop. I went there the night before I left just to have a drink and just see San Francisco from a top, because it's all hilly. If any of you have ever been there, it's hilly, and the hills are something unbelievable, crazy. How steep those hills are, and man, let me tell you, I was surprised. It took me a while. I went down to get some soup, and man, walking back up those hills, dude, that was insane. And you know what? Here's the weird part. They had. This will be the last thing I'll mention. Dude, they have driverless cars. You're saying what? Yes, driverless cars. Because remember, you're in the tech center of the world for all intents and purposes. All right, Silicon Valley. All right, Google's out there. So look at this car. It's called a Waygo. There's nobody in this car. There's nobody driving. So it's got this thing on the top. It's got sensors on the side. And it can hold with 4 people, 3 in the back, 1 in the front. This is a driverless car. And they're all over San Francisco. It was insane. Freaked me out. And here's who I saw after the game. Look, Simone Biles. We were waiting to get in the locker room. Look how short she is, and she's wearing heels. So, needless to say, San Francisco was a great, great, great time. Let's see. Mr. Shirley said, it looks like a drive-in movie theater. That's funny. Oh, man. Let's see what yeah, so it was a great time, except for the game. I don't know what else to say. You know, this team looks bad. And one of the things I determined from just the attitude and the vibe that I got, I think everybody's checked out. I think they're all checked out. Brandon, go to my Facebook page, Shawn Sierra. Just type in Shawn Sierra, I'll come up. Go to Sports Zone Chicago as well. The one thing that really bugged me was this. And I asked the players this too. I said, why did you start off so slow? What do you think was the cause of it? I'm like, you guys that, according to all reports, there was a great week of practice. The energy was high. Everyone was fired up, blah, 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 blah. There might be an uptick in energy, in performance due to a new coach. And it was none of that. There was none of that. And that concerns me. That really concerns me. Because you talked all this, you wanted Eberflus fired is what it seems like now. You wanted Eberflus fired. You got him fired. And you're like, oh, Thomas, oh, man, he's got our attention. He's direct. He's this. And you're very excited about him being your interim head coach. And you come out and you lay an egg. You come out flatter than a pancake. You come out. And that's a shame. That showed me that they're done. But even more importantly, so when we go down, we have to wait. There's a cooling off period. The coaches talk to the players and they get time to go shower, whatever, before they let us into the locker room. Before they open the door and allow the media in, a slew of players bounced already. They're coming out past us, and you don't ask them questions at that point in the hallway. But so many players had come out, and this happened in Chicago too, had come out before the media had access. So we come in, the locker room's half empty. A quarter of the players are there dressing. The other quarter players that are in there are in the shower. So about half the locker room is gone by the time we're allowed in. They want to get out of there. They don't want to talk to anybody. And I saw a couple of linemen. I interviewed Matt Pryor, Tevinjenkins, and right before, it just seemed they just didn't. A couple guys seemed upset, but I just didn't get the whole vibe. Like everyone was pissed about this loss. I didn't get that vibe. And that bothered me. Kevin Byard interviewed. We were around him. He seems upset. He seems pissy. Even Caleb doesn't seem that upset about it. I know he's trying to take it and not let this 7-game losing streak beat him down. But man, give me a little more passion. Give me a little more disappointment. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Brandon said, what time did the game start on Sunday? It started here locally. It's 3:25 Central Time. It's 1:25 out there in California. And the wild thing about it is that at 10 o'clock, games start on Sunday because they're on the West Coast. 10 o'clock, the games start. So we're getting ready to leave to go to the stadium, and the game down at the bar is on. I was like, holy cow. And so they're done by about 8 o'clock, on Sunday. So you can, after the Sunday night game. So, yeah, there's a lot. Mr. Shorty says, very bad. I'm seeing Ryan Poles might resign as in quit. Yeah, I don't know. There's been rumors about it. He doesn't like, this was according to Silverman from ESPN's Waddle and Sylvie. Mentioned this, and he broke this story, just saying he thinks because now there's a different dynamic. Before, he used to report directly to ownership. Now he doesn't report directly to ownership. He reports to Kevin Warren, who's his boss. And not only that, there could be some issues, because if the rumors are true, and rumors stated that Ryan Poles wanted to dismiss Matt Eberflus in the offseason, but the owners wouldn't let him. If that's the case, come on. And then when Eberflus finally got fired, if Eberflus or if Poles wanted Eberflus gone before then, he's going to want him gone after the last game, the Detroit game. And it should have been a no-brainer. He shouldn't have gone out to talk to the media. But he did. They let him go out there. And the questions are going to be about his job security. And he looks like a fool saying, yeah, I feel comfortable. I'm going to be coaching this team next week. I'm going to get prepared for Wednesday, blah, 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 blah. And then you fire him. Because they're in a meeting. Deciding, well, who are you meeting with? You're the general manager. You should be the one making that decision. You, as the general manager. You should be able to do that. You shouldn't need Kevin Warren's approval. You shouldn't need George's approval. That's in your job description. So apparently these things are what Ryan Poles is upset about. And if you saw the interview with Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles looked like a scolded child. He was quiet. His body language said a lot. His body language said a lot. And some people said that there was division in the front office about keeping Justin Fields. And then rumors had come out, and again, I don't know how true they are, that Kevin Warren didn't want him because Justin was against Kevin Warren when he was at Ohio State. Remember, during the COVID thing, they wanted to play. Kevin Warren wanted to shut the season down. So apparently there were still some hard feelings, or allegedly there were some hard feelings, and so Kevin Warren said, no, I don't want him. These are the rumors. So if that's the case, who's making the decisions? Still the McCaskies? How dare you make decisions and come and tell us you don't know anything about evaluation? You're not a talent evaluator. Well, then don't make decisions. This is why we can't get our hopes up, because what coach is going to want to come here? What coach is going to want to come here? Knowing that the McCaskies make all the decisions. What GM is going to want to come here? Because Ryan Poles, his seat is very hot right now. What GM's going to want to come here to knowing that his voice isn't the last one heard. The McCaskies override anything he says. We're going to Minnesota. Brandon wants to know who we're playing Monday. We're going to Minnesota Monday Night Football. And multiple reports have it about the Eberflus situation is that, yes, he selected Eberflus, but he selected Eberflus out of a pool of 3 candidates that he didn't decide on. Because they interviewed Eberflus before they interviewed Ryan Poles. So he wasn't Ryan Poles' guy. So by semantics, you could say he chose him. Yes, he did. But that's he didn't get to choose him from all the candidates that were available. He was given a list of 3. And it's coming out in the media. It's coming out. It's leaking out. You know the old saying, if it gets out, it's because they want it out. If it gets out, it's because they wanted to get it out. And this is going to stop any competent coach from coming here. Any competent GM from coming here, because you're not the final say. If you're the GM, you decide how this team is constructed. Not the president of football operations, not the owner, you. That's your job title. And then we wonder why it keeps getting screwed up all the time. It's a damn shame. And as far as, here's what we'll do. We're going to take a quick break. Give me a moment. Let's take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome our guy, Glynn Morgan. Our draft analyst. He was with NBC Sports Chicago. He's doing work at the Big Ten Network now. So do me a favor. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. We'll be right back with Glynn Morgan on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
A great job he's done as well, helping out with Thomas Brown. Second down and 3. Catch made for a first down by 3. There's Swift. They keep it on the ground. And Swift picks up a first down. Third down and 2. Williams complete. It's a first down. Keenan Allen. That's his first catch today.
With Caleb Williams, they have a really nice connection.
Long talk Charger. This is DJ Moore. Moore works his way inside the 10-yard line. This drive. Here's Swift. DeAndre Swift picks up a Rams first down. 3rd and goal. Williams throws, corner of the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown by Roma Dunze.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. Again, those Raw boys, baby. Those Raw boys on Saturday, Santa Clara. Beautiful, beautiful Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Our boys laid an egg. Nothing more, nothing less. All right. Fall into the San Francisco 49ers 38-13. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. You know, excuse me. The disappointment is palpable, excuse me. And it just seems, as I was saying before we went away to break, it seems like people have given up. They've checked out. The players have checked out. And so here's the one thing that I shouldn't be surprised, because I was on a podcast last night with Terrence Nichols, Chicago Clubhouse podcast. You can go back on my page and check it out. It's on my page. And the thing I said was, I said, this is very similar to the White Sox. I said, you cannot give a rookie manager, which is baseball, a rookie coach in football, you cannot give him an underperforming veteran team. You just can't do it. Guys are setting the ways. Guys are making their money. Guys are going to do what they want to do at that particular point. They know you're young, inexperienced. Because there should have been a bump. There should have been some sort of excitement. Should have been some sort of energy in the first half, and they had none. You got what you wanted in Eberflus being dismissed. You said all the right things in practice about Coach Brown. So you're waiting for, I don't know, some enthusiasm, some energy for this with this team coming out to start the game and against a 49er team that was fighting for the playoffs, but they were injured. No Trent Williams, the best left tackle in the game. No CMC, the running back. A couple other key players were out, and you came out flat. Flat. This tells me they're checked out. That's what this tells me. You're checked out. They made adjustments at halftime. Now, that's over there. Shoot. Nine plays. You come out at halftime, and let me tell you something. What they did, whoo. 9 plays? Or no, 15 plays, 16 plays. What was? I'm sorry, 16 plays, 70 yards, 9 minutes. That's where the 9 comes from. 16 plays, 9 minutes. It scored a touchdown. Two-point try failed. Plankster checking in. What's up, Papa? I said, good morning, Shawn. Sports owners works crazy. Nothing but meetings. Bear down. Bear down, baby. I appreciate you checking in, Papa. I appreciate it. You take 9 minutes off the clock. You march down the field, punch it in. Now, why? Because it was 24-6 at that particular point. I don't know why you went for 2. You would have to go score 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions. Doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather go 3 touchdowns and a field goal. But I digress. That's the thinking that this organization had. The defense. My goodness. You know, the defense, I don't know. They got a guy named George Kittle over there. Tight end is pretty good. Why you wouldn't want to cover him? Why you wouldn't, even if you're in zone, why you wouldn't want to stay with him a little longer? I don't know. I don't know. Running wild, 151 yards. And there were chunk plays too, my goodness. And from up there, I'm like, I was sitting next to a young lady who's actually, she lived in the Bay. She was working in Chicago. She moved to the Bay Area about a year ago. She was working with, I forgot who. She was doing some work for the Marquee Network. And I have a tendency to talk when I'm up there because I see it. I see things developing because you're up there and you see receivers going to open spaces to the soft spot. I'm like, oh, damn, Kittle's open. Connect. There he goes running. This defense, which was a bend but don't break, broke. I'm telling you, I was so excited that they settled for a field goal on the last drive of the first half. Because had they punched it in 28-0 at half, 24-0 is bad enough. Don't get me wrong. But 28-0 looks a hell of a lot worse than 24. Because it's 4 touchdowns that you gave up. So this defense, they've checked out. Tyreek Stevenson, ever since apparently his ego's hurt. Because he hadn't played for shit ever since he was screwing around in that Washington game. And cost us the I shouldn't say cost us the Washington game. Cost us that last play when he's jagging around with the fans and goes over and tips the ball when he should be behind the scrum defending any receiver who's back there. You mean the guy who caught the ball? Yeah, that guy. Where's he been, Tyreek Stevenson? Besides tripping a defender and getting fined for it. His aggressiveness is gone. It's like he's been spayed or neutered. He played with an edge. And where's the leadership? That game, that play changed this season. Changed the course of this season. That play. That play and that play alone. Because if you stop that, you go to Arizona, you're ready to roll. You're 5-2. You beat Arizona. You beat 6-2, 7-2. You're 7-2. Just where I predicted they would be after 9 games. They're 4-2 right there. Like, okay, good. They're on pace. It's got to win these next 3. Nope. That play, that single play, changed the course of this whole season. So now what do we do? They say they respect Thomas Brown, but they don't respect him. He's young. He's new. If you respected him, you come out with more energy than you did on Sunday. So now you got 4 games left. Starting Monday night. Monday night in Minnesota. I'm scared to see what they're going to do to us. I don't think I can pick the Bears to win any of the remaining 4 games. I don't think so. Because after that, you got Detroit at home the following week. Then you play Thursday night after that Detroit game. You play Thursday night. The Seahawks are here. Then you go to Green Bay. Then we go to Green Bay. I can't pick them. I'm probably going to lose a bet. I'm going to lose a bet. After that Hail Mary, my cousin said, big shout out to Gabriel Ortiz, my cousin Gabby. He said the Bears aren't going to win another game the rest of the year. I said, bro, stop it. At least one. He goes, I'll bet you dinner. I was like, and then my other cousin said, no, we're going to bet this week. So my other cousin lost because they lost the following game, the Patriots. And I'm like, I got the rest of the season to win one game? I'm in. It looks like the Bears might not win one more game. So if they don't win another game, they will be on an 11-game losing streak. 14-game losing streak with this general manager and an 11-game losing streak with this general manager. It's not good. And here's why this is so tricky, because we're all talking crazy about Poles, which he deserves. And he hasn't built the offensive line. Nope. But if he wanted to get rid of Flus last year and get a new guy in here, he should have been able to do that. A guy who might have been able to change this course. So now what do? Is the development of Caleb the only thing? Do you give a damn about wins or losses? My man Black Diamond checking in. It's the top of the morning, Shawn. Rumor of Vrabel is a favorite. Yeah, that's what the rumor. But here's the question. Who's going to be his offensive coordinator? And who's going to be his defensive coordinator? What scheme are we going to run? Because if he switches to a 3-4, we're screwed. We're screwed. It's going to take us another 2 years to dismantle that defense and build it back up. Now you're in Caleb's 3rd year. Now you have to decide on his 5th-year option. All this would have been avoided if you did what I told you to do, and that's trade the pick, get the haul. Monica, Jeremiah, what's up? So, what do we do? As fans, what do we do? What do you do as fans? I mean, we're going to tune in, but how are we supposed to feel? Knowing this organization sucks, knowing the McCaskies are still making personnel moves, blocking personnel moves, because they don't want to pay 2 coaches at the same time. Well, guess what? That's the cost of doing business. See, there's a lot that's fucked up about this Bears team. You don't want to pay 2 coaches at the same time. I don't have a problem with that. And it's not my money, but I wouldn't have a problem with that if you got the wrong guy out and the right guy in. But you're going to keep the right guy in because you got to pay him? What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of nonsense is that? You keep the wrong guy in there because you don't want to pay him for not working. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. None. None. This is why this organization is the laughingstock of the NFL. You should give your people the autonomy to do their jobs. Let them do their job and make decisions off of that. Because this defense, are they going to show up next week? I mean, this Minnesota team, we know what they got. And we were what, a field goal away? Like our last meeting, that the 3 losses in the division are at a combined total, are of a combined total of 7 points between the 3 losses. The 3, Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit. 7 points between all 3 of those. But that's what Eberflus calling the defense. And with the defense not giving up, I feel they've checked out. I don't think there's anything Coach Washington can do on the defensive side of the ball. I don't think there's anything that Thomas Brown can do on the offensive side of the ball. Because I asked the Matt Pryor, I asked Tevinjenkins, I'm like, why the slow start? They're like, oh, we got to execute better. And so I followed up with a question. I said, wait, so did they run anything that you didn't see on film? Did they come out in different fronts? And they're quick. No. They ran everything we saw. So you saw everything on tape. They didn't do anything different, and you couldn't block it. Okay. They both said that, Matt Pryor and Tevinjenkins. So you're saying you guys suck. You're saying they have more heart than you. You're saying you can't get to your assignments. You're saying you can't do your job properly. Because if you saw it on film and you told me you did, you're adamant about it. Like, oh yeah, they didn't do anything different. Then block them. Then block them. So offensive line's not going to block. Defensive line's not going to stop the run. Secondary is going to continue to give up big plays in zone. So what do we do? What do we do? The Bears have a first rounder and 2 second rounders. The second rounder should be at the top. That's Carolina. That should be the top of the order. Top 2 or 3. Okay. I strongly suggest to the Bears that you take 2 offensive linemen and a defensive lineman in those 3 picks. Strongly suggest. Because this is what happens when you construct a 7-on-7 offense. This is what happens. You construct a 7-on-7 offense. Don't worry about the line. We got 3 good receivers. We got tight ends. We're good. We got running back out of the backfield. We're good. This ain't 7-on-7. You're getting your asses handed to you. Can't protect your quarterback. He's on pace to get sacked about 80 times this year. 80 times. Are you freaking kidding me? Part of it's his fault, don't get me wrong, but 80 times. I don't believe it. It's crazy. Well, we're going to ask my guest his thoughts. because now you're getting me fired up. The more I'm talking, the more and more I'm getting fired up. Because you build a 7-on-7 squad. You got a team that's checked out. Tyreek Stevenson is a head case. He just wants to trip receivers on the sideline as they come out of bounds and get fined for it. My number ones, my top three, 1A, 1B, 1C receivers want to drop passes all over the place. But you want this quarterback to do good. Well, I'll tell you what, he damn sure ain't going to be generational when that shit's happening. You're top. You're 1A, 1B, 1C, all dropping passes. Did they give up 2? I don't know. But you know my guy, he's a good friend of the program. Draft analyst. Was over at NBC Sports Chicago. Now he's doing some work for the Big Ten Network. You can find him on Twitter at True Glynn Morgan. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Glynn Morgan. Glynn, what's up, Papa? Good morning. How you doing?
I'm managing. Bro, I feel like you're yelling at me. and I deserve it. I deserve it this morning, man. My apologies, bro. My apologies.
No worries. It's okay.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us, dog.
Whoo. Yeah, why'd you stop? I mean, keep going. I mean, you laid it all out there. Everything you said, it's crazy, man, because these grown men are little kids. You know, everyone's acting like they're 12 years old. It's crazy. The disintegration of what has happened this season is inexplicable. Something that, you know, I'm gonna sound like Hawk Harrelson. All my years, I never seen anything like this. I mean,
from one play, Glenn, one play did all this.
You know what? It seems like it's from one play, but clearly there are so many underlying things that we didn't see. That one play was like the little crack in the dam, and you try to put your little finger on it, another crack happened, another crack, and now it's just starting to explode. And it's really unfortunate because a lot of talented coaches, talented players, they're going to end up losing their job because of it. It's crazy because you just mentioned Stevenson and what he's done. And Stevenson's one of the players that I was pumped for when before he got drafted, leading into the year that he got drafted. Very talented player, very gifted player, you know, all these things. And to see him just, you know, become a complete knucklehead this season, to see DJ Moore do things where he's, you know, staying on the sidelines while the play's still going on. And again, you know, anything could have happened. He could have blocked downfield. It could have been a fumble, you know, any of those kind of things. He could have, you know, if guys are checked out during the game. I mean, you know, obviously, we earlier alluded to Stevenson. You talked about tripping people, and obviously, like the one play you're talking about, I would imagine is the Hail Mary in Washington, and it seemed like everything just seemed to go, you know, downhill since then. You're seeing veteran players, you're seeing young players, you're seeing, you know, coaches just being checked out doing weird things, and inevitably, invariably, who do all these fingers point back to?
No, it can't be Eberflus. He's gone.
It points to polls. I mean, it points directly to polls. And you know, I'm not trying to do the, you know, I told you so train or anything like this. But what I was saying is that let's hold off on the and polls I trust thing. I'm like, there's still some things here I've got questions about. You know, the offensive line was a big question. His ability to draft receivers. I mean, the guys he's drafted who are receivers outside of a doomsday right now, Tyler Scott's on a milk carton. I ain't seen that brother since, you know, Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hard life, you know, hard knock life for him. You know?
Cue up Jay-Z.
Yeah. You know, it's weird. The offensive lineman he's drafted, Darnell, starting to look kind of iffy. I mean, he's okay. He should be fine, but your top 10 picks shouldn't just be okay, be fine. You need to be dominant. We need to see you escalating. We need to see you be Tristan Wirfs right now. Not just whiffing. Braxton Jones, later, dude. 3 years and you still not strong enough to hold a bull rush.
Yeah,
Ratos Matos is getting you. Come on, bro. I mean, it's just it doesn't track. It doesn't track.
It doesn't, Glenn. And I'll tell you, in the locker room, and I said this before you came on, I got to feel, I felt that they checked out. I just felt it. So, obviously there's a cool down period before the media is allowed in the locker room. Bro, I'm telling you, about half the locker room was bounced. So we get in the locker room, there's half the locker room in there, a quarter of them are changing, the other quarter are in the shower, and it's like a ghost town. And this happened in Chicago too, the last game in Chicago. Like, these dudes are out, they're bouncing. Like, I haven't seen Keenan Allen once. I don't think I've seen Keenan Allen in the locker room. I've been there for the last 4 weeks. 4 of the last 5 weeks I've been there. I ain't seen Keenan Allen in the locker room.
So that's a wasted
damn,
trade.
Dog.
that's another wide receiver who you traded for, although not a knucklehead like Claypool, is clearly not with it, not tuned in, not being psychologically invested, and all these guys, it's like players, you got what you wanted. Eberflus is gone, and everyone's supposed to be ride or die with the coaches that are there. Really, that's how you guys ride or die?
They came out like crap for the guy that they admire, they look up to. That got me so fired up this morning, man. You came out for Coach Brown like that, but then you talked all this shit, how he commands the room, how you respect him, how this, how that. You're excited. This is how you show up for him.
Well, here's the thing. Going back to the game against San Francisco, I actually didn't think the players looked flat to me as much as it looked like, especially defensively. It looked like, yo, who drove the game plan? This scheme looks off. It's like you guys are doing stuff, and the 49ers are like, okay, you're planning for us running the ball, and we're just going to keep passing. We'll just keep play action you because, we're not running. So you guys keep doing what you're doing there, and we'll keep doing what we're doing. They look like there was a game plan. And offensively, as much as there have been times since Thomas took over, it looked like there are things that for Caleb seem to be clicking. It still seems as though it's not happening until the game is out of hand, which to me means the defense may be playing you a little bit differently, which means that you're not coming into the game with something that's working right away, and this is your third or fourth week. And if the defense is playing you differently, and that's when Caleb starts to look better, maybe he catches a heater because they're playing him differently. This seems to be a pattern. I mean, we're all speculating here, but what we can see is you come out slow. And is it flat, or you're just coming out ill-prepared, or you're not coming out in any kind of aggressive way? It doesn't track. We're asking too many questions that have no answers. And right now, this entire organization looks worse each week. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what Kevin Warren says. I don't care what anybody who's a pundit, anyone who's a fan, diehard fan, any Chicagoan says this is a great job. This is a great no, it's not. I want to know if I'm Ben Johnson or anybody else down the line who is a name. I want no parts of what's going on in Chicago right now.
Nope.
Now, if I'm a no name, or if I'm a guy that like I'll take any job, then okay, I'll take any job. But if I'm a big name, there are going to be other opportunities. Look, the Giants right now, as bad as they look on the field, perception-wise, everybody, I'm talking perception here. Perception-wise, the Giants have been to more Super Bowls more recently and won them than the Bears have. The Giants, it's New York. We're Chicago. We're cosmopolitan. We're a global city. New York is a bigger cosmopolitan, bigger. So Eddie's probably going to pay more. And perception-wise, it's New York. Whether it's the Giants, it just looked bad too. But The Raiders, that might be an open position. Jacksonville may be an open position. There's a lot of talent in Jacksonville, and you don't have the media scrutiny that you do in Chicago, New York, so on and so forth. There are other places, is my point. I don't have to take Chicago. And if I'm Ben Johnson, guess what I don't have to do? I don't have to leave Detroit. I can stay until I really get the job I want.
Yep.
So don't think just because, it's Chicago and because you have the most recent number one pick. Guess what's going to happen next year? There's going to be another number one pick who's going to be a quarterback next year, and probably the year after that, and arguably the next 7 years there'll at least be 4 to 5 quarterbacks who will be number one picks. So don't think that having Caleb is necessarily going to be the lure in your fishing pond that you think it is. There's a bigger pond out there, everybody.
Yeah.
And there are other places out there that are going to be attractive or as attractive, will pay more, will treat you with first class and fly you in first class and not coach. I mean, I'm just saying, dude, it's and don't tell me, because we got the stadium. Dude, you've been having this stadium since like before the pandemic. And I guess that economy, is happening, so we're not getting the stadium yet. We're a laughing stock. And from Hard Knocks to now, it's like that's just a mirage. That seemed like it happened 10 years ago. And the perception is, offensively, if you're a quarterback or a wide receiver, Chicago is the place you go for your career to die. You had, who? If I'm a free agent, look, man. You know what? And this is not an "I told you so." As I say this, I'm prefacing that, but I'm referring back to it because it's like, the feeling I had. I remember saying when we were deciding whether or not we were thinking whether or not Caleb was going to come to Chicago. And at the time, the perception was that Caleb was too self-absorbed, and his father was involved in things and all this other stuff. And Washington, I thought, was an attractive offer at the time. But what I said was, and I said on various platforms, if I'm Caleb's father, if I'm part of his team, if I'm his agent, I say, young man, I don't care what Chicago offers you. I don't want you to go there because they don't know what they're doing with quarterbacks. And I'm a Chicagoan. I love the Bears. It has nothing to do with my feelings for the Bears in terms of me loving them or me representing my city. But I've been watching these mofos for a half a century, literally a half a century. And I've seen this. We've seen this. If you've been watching objectively, you've seen this. It's not a place you want to go if you're a rookie. It's a place you want to come to if there are certain people in place already and you're a veteran and you can see whatever, and you're in that one spot every 20 years where the Bears seem like they're challenging for, the Super Bowl. But as a rookie, it looks really bad right now, and things can be a lot better. As bad as it's been, the great thing about the NFL is you can almost literally reverse your fortunes from one year to the next. You really can. I've seen that happen as well. So it's not like all is lost. But as frustrating as FUCK right now to see this play out in front of our faces in real time in a place, in a land of social media where the access is more accessible for the fans, players. Dude, you don't think people talk in the NFL? You don't think other players are talking? You're not going to be able to attract free agents. So all that money you thought you had in terms of having the rookie, who are you really going to get? Who are your coaches going to be?
The only way you can get players is to trade for them, and they're probably going to want to leave. Like DJ Moore would never. I mean, DJ Moore wouldn't have come here if he didn't get traded. Keenan Allen wouldn't have come here and signed here if it wasn't because he was traded. I mean, this is god awful. And guys, we're joined by Glynn Morgan, draft analyst, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
No, I don't trust Poles to make another coaching hire. I don't, because I have to believe he was part of the Shane Waldron hiring. He wasn't all Eberflus. And again, this season, the first two coordinators that were fired were Bear picks. Getsy out there in Las Vegas land, and here when we had Shane Waldron. And Eberflus, he signed off on Eberflus. Obviously, Eberflus was one of the finalists before Poles got here, but he signed off on it. I
and that's the thing is like he didn't, so technically yes, he hired him, but he hired him from a pool. Like he didn't. That wasn't his guy. Like here are the three candidates. You pick one. It's your decision. And it's like, so if those rumors are true, then it's really not your decision. I get to pick from what I'm given. You didn't get to pick from the whole pond.
Exactly.
And so now, I don't know if I would trust him with another one because, again, Eberflus probably isn't his guy, as you said, as you mentioned. He was interviewed before Poles was brought in. So
True.
I don't know if I do that, but in the whole thing about the Shane Waldron thing, that's damning. That's damning because you have to understand that what kind of head coach are these coordinators playing for? Because no one gave Shane Waldron shit in Seattle. Why? Because you had Pete Carroll behind you. Pete Carroll wasn't putting up with anything. You want to act a fool? Good, you're out. So he had Big Brother behind him. So you didn't have to worry about, players disrespecting or not liking everything because you had Pete Carroll. And remember, Jackson Smith and Jigba gave us a forewarning at Super Bowl week. Remember?
He did. He really
did.
Like, that's aged really well.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's aged really well.
Yes. So, and we didn't. And again, I was confused. I was bamboozled as well because I stood on the table for this guy, pounded the table, and like this guy can do it. Well, maybe he can do it if he's got a Pete Carroll behind him, who knows how to run the show. And we didn't have a Pete Carroll who knew how to run the show.
I mean, I look. Again, the question: do I trust Paul? No, I don't. A lot of my trust is earned.
Yeah.
And I believe I can equivocate right now on that. Because for the several things you can point to that Poles has done well, you can also point to almost as many things that have been detrimental and actually undermined what he did. Kind of cutting your nose off to spite your face. Okay, you get Caleb and you move on from Justin, understandable. And you got the first pick and you got the ninth pick overall. You got 2 top 10 picks. And you've got free agent money, and you made a trade to get Keenan Allen, and you've got DJ Moore. You're probably going to draft a Dunze. And did you address your line? No, you didn't. Well, you did. I take that back. You did. You made trades to fix areas you thought were the weak areas.
Journeyman.
Yes, journeyman. And you cut your nose off to spite your face. And you're a former offensive lineman. You came from Kansas City where you saw how they built in the trenches. And I believe he was there on the staff when they lost the Super Bowl to the Buccaneers. And you saw what happened.
Tom Brady.
Right. And you saw what happened to Mahomes.
His 2 tackles.
2 tackles were gone. And how, no matter how great you are, you can't do anything with our offensive line. And yet, here we are, 3 years into your regime. And I think you only have 2 top 100 picks at offensive line at a position that needs 5 people. You only have 2 top 100 picks.
2, 1. All right.
No, there was one guy, a top 100. There was one guy, another person. I think was like 70 in the.
It's only 3 rounds.
Yeah, I think okay. So top 150.
Plus.
I apologize.
Okay.
Top 150. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because you got. Don't forget you had what's his face. You got Braxton Jones, but he was 5th.
He was 5th. There was someone else that was taking it. I think it was like top 150. It was like in the 80s or something like that. I can't remember the name right now. You can fact check me later if you want to, by all means.
Because we were talking about this yesterday, is that you can't. And I didn't mention it with you, but I'm looking for it, and don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm looking for it, and there's a reason Detroit is where they are.
Oh,
there's a reason. There's a reason because they got 3 first-rounders. Crazy. Well, so you invest in the offensive line, and you have your offense run smoothly. Does anyone else know about this? Anyone else know about that philosophy? Because it's frustrating.
Well, the Cowboys dynasty back when they had Emmett and Irvin and Aikman, that offensive line was invested.
Bingo.
And even
Nate
to this
Newton.
day,
Yes.
even to this day, the Cowboys still invest in offensive linemen, you know. And just because you get a first round doesn't mean it's going to work. I get that. But the more you have, the better your opportunities are. The higher your picks at that position, the better you have an opportunity. I remember several years, again, I only have my best friend to co-sign this with me, but I was talking several years ago when Campbell first got there, and I saw the first couple of years of what they were drafting, both lines, offensive and defensive. I said, ooh, man, dude, if anyone's paying attention, they're going to be a problem. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, look who they drafted. He's like, dude, I don't know the draft. I don't watch that stuff. I said, dude, these offensive linemen. I'm like, bro, the fact that you can draft Penei Sewell and make him a right tackle when everyone thought he was going to be a left tackle coming out shows you how talented that offensive line is going to be. And it's look, I don't want to get into the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, which I sort of pretty much kind of did already. These things have, I guess, to my point, or to the point I'm trying to make is it wasn't all just a Washington play. I think that was just, a revelation, so to speak. But these things have been underpinnings. I did say before the season began, I've still been a firm believer back. I'm not saying drafting Caleb was the wrong thing out of talent perspective. It's not because he's had nothing to do with this about his talent, but you had a draft, this past draft. You had one where you had several really high talented caliber picks or players at positions that the Bears needed help at. You had several edge rushers, you had a few defensive tackles, but you had a litany of offensive linemen.
Yep.
A litany. We didn't address one until the fourth round with Amagaji, and he was out of Yale and he was slightly injured when we got him. And I know drafting. And I think I mentioned last time I was on your show, hubris. That was a hubristic pick because it's like you're saying we got him so he can be the swing, offensive lineman because we're set. No, you're not. And they also had wide receivers, which we got one. They had quarterbacks, which we got one. I'm not saying we didn't acquire those. I'm saying there were so many of them. Think how good Brian Thomas Jr. is, and he was a late first round pick. Think how good Keon Coleman is, and he was high second round pick, mid second round pick with Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys are different players. I get Keon is more of a possession guy, I understand, but Brian Thomas can stretch the field, and we still have a little bit of issue with stretching the field. Brian Thomas Jr. can stretch the field, and the quarterbacks, the two guys picked after Caleb, they look like they're going to be good NFL football players. So what I'm saying is,
go ahead, finish.
I was going to say one trade down or two could have helped you with your, we talked about the haul. It had less to do with Justin and more to do with you have an opportunity with the first pick overall in this particular draft, a very talent-rich draft where you can get a lot of the things you need to help you in case what you do get doesn't work out, and you don't have to squander. And you still got that first round money. Everyone said, well, no, you take advantage of having Caleb because you got a rookie quarterback. You still got the same benefit if you take Jaden Daniels, who won the Heisman last year. I mean, it wasn't like Jaden was just some horrible guy. It wasn't like he just fell out of the plane. The dude had been playing for several years. You could track and see he got better each year he played. And he never won anything. I'm sorry. Outside of they both won a Heisman. They both didn't win anything. So don't let that be your only criteria why you don't pick. He's skinny. Okay, he can eat and he's fast and he's tall. There's a lot of things.
Hit the weight room. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things.
It looked like he's going to last the season. Knock on wood. I didn't just jinx him. And Drake May. I mean, he's not the athlete those two are, but he's not unathletic. He ran for more yards when he played the Bears than Caleb did against New England when we played one another, or when teams played one another. And he can throw the ball. And I'm just saying, man, you're in a situation right now to where Poles did a lot of things that undermined what he had established or was attempting to establish. So for all the good he's done things that have been detrimental to his success organizationally right now. We're in a quandary. And look, the buck stops here type kind of mentality. All these things are starting to point back at him, and he has to have answers. Do I trust him? No, I don't. I'm on the fence with him. I really am. Do I trust Kevin Warren? I give him the benefit of he's still assessing things, and he's had the stadium, but right now the stadium is in the same limbo that it was when it got here. And this team is, if I'm going Dante's Inferno, it's going to hell right now. We're nowhere near Paradiso.
So here's the thing. So the Lions have 3 first-round picks on that offensive line. The Vikings have 2 first-rounders and 3 second-rounders. Green Bay, which is why we see that they've regressed, they have 2 seconds, a 4th, a 6th, and a 7th. Okay? Bears, a 1st, a 2nd, a 3rd, a 5th, undrafted. So who in that order? So the Lions are number 1, followed by the Vikings in the division, followed by Green Bay, followed by us. And you have more. It's 3, 2, none, and 1. But we have an undrafted free agent, so that kind of cancels out our first round pick. So that inability was key. And I just, it bugs me because now, okay, if you wanted to go Caleb, okay, why draft Rome with the 9th pick? Why not draft? And Joe Alt was probably gone, but you had Olu Fashanu. That's Caleb's high school teammate. You don't think he's in Pittsburgh now. You ain't hearing a lot about him. They're not bitching about him giving up sacks. So, I mean, you could have got actually high school teammates, one of the top offensive linemen coming out of the draft, and you could have planted him and Caleb here for the next 10 years. He didn't do it.
He's in the Jets. Isn't he with the Jets, Fashanu?
Is he?
I think he's with the Jets. I think the Zach Frazier, though, the center that we wanted out of West Virginia, he's with Pittsburgh, and he's starting.
Yes. Zach Frazier was a stud. I loved him. Let's see. Yes, you're correct. He's with the Jets. Yep, he's with the Jets. I don't know why. I forgot who their offensive tackle is for Pittsburgh. That was another person that I wanted. Yeah, Thomas, you're right. He says Olu went to the Jets. Yeah. I'm trying to think who Pittsburgh got their. But yeah, you said their center. Like, why not take? I mean, okay, if you don't want to take it, if you don't feel comfortable taking a center in the first round, okay, you could have got another stud offensive lineman, a tackle. There you go, Fatano. That's who it is. Olu Fashanu and this guy's Fatano. Pardon me for the
Washington.
Yeah, the Washington kid. Yep. So you could have got him. All right. And I've said this plenty of times before. Every month, first check you write is for the mortgage. First check you write, got to be to the mortgage. You need a place to live. The second check you write for the insurance. Got to have that bad boy insured. And we have no insurance for Caleb. Like, again, I don't think Caleb's generational, but it doesn't mean Caleb can't be great. I think Caleb has all the talent in the world to be a great quarterback.
I agree.
He's not going to be a great quarterback. You don't protect his ass. Ask Patrick Mahomes, like you said in the Super Bowl. Got to the Super Bowl and, man, got destroyed. Why? Because his tackles were out. And what do? They addressed that immediately.
They really did.
They might have had that shit done before the game was over. Like, oh, shit, we're losing? Okay. That's how fast they addressed that issue.
Well, Pauls was there. That's what makes this so egregious, is that he's there and you saw that. And again, I don't know how many times we've all said it, you play offensive line, at Boston College, you're blocking for Matt Ryan, so. And
you got to try out here.
And you got to try out here.
Jason,
maybe he's still mad at the Bears and he's undermining us on purpose. No,
he might be. No.
I'm joking.
Subconsciously. Dolphins owner Stephen Ross just sold 10% stake of the team to RS Management and 3% to the Brooklyn Nets owner Joe Tsai. Deal approved by NFL at today's league meeting. Okay, so Dolphins. Okay.
Whatever. It doesn't help me in Chicago.
Yeah, and Mr. Shorty's like, Shawn Caleb is generational. He's a generational Bears quarterback by a mile. Listen, no, he's not.
No, I think you protested too much. I think you try to convince yourself more so than me. He is not generational.
Because he still ain't better than Cutler.
He's still
not better than Cutler.
Well, he's a rookie, so you gotta give him time.
Right.
But
yeah.
Caleb is talented, and most rookies struggle with accuracy when they come into the league. And there are times where when Caleb gets on a heater, you're like, wow, okay, those are the wild things you see when he's able to maneuver a little bit, and when he starts passing and he's making those special passes, and that's fine. You just have to, it has to be sustainable. You have to continue doing that, for the most part of the game, not just like 15 minutes or 10 minutes here or there,
and week in and week out.
Right. And the thing is, we can't you can't put all that on him. And I think that's another issue I had. This Bears organization was putting too much on this young man to come in and be a savior. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. Look, you think about Andrew Luck when he got to the league, and he was replacing Peyton Manning. And obviously the Colts who went 1-15, I think, the year before Andrew came in. Peyton had the injury, traded, or he left and went to Denver, so on and so forth. And he comes in, he being Andrew Luck comes in, and they go 11-5. They even lost the head coach. Pagano couldn't be the head coach because he was battling cancer.
Yep.
And so, I'm trying to think the coach in Tampa Bay for the Super Bowl. He actually came to, thank you, Arians actually came to the Bears. Arians becomes rookie, or not rookie, but he becomes head coach of the year. And he comes to Chicago, and they don't hire him. Totally goofy. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. My point is that Andrew Luck is talented. And to me, Andrew Luck, we used to say can't miss prospect before generational. That was the catchphrase. Yeah. Can't miss prospect. To me, Andrew Luck was a can't miss prospect. There was very little weakness to his game at all that I saw in college. And he gets there, and they go to the playoffs. They go 11-5. But it wasn't like that team was a true 1-16 team. They lost Peyton Manning. Peyton did a lot for that team. And they were in transition, new coaching, coaches at different positions, all that kind of stuff. But the players were still there. They still had talented offensive linemen. They still had talented receivers. They still had talent that was already there. It just had to be, coordinated. And that's what Arians did, because your coordinators, offensively and defensively, are the lifeblood of any team. But my point is that it wasn't like Andrew Luck just came in and solved all their problems. But he definitely was an elixir. He was part of the ingredient, a main ingredient that they needed so that could come to fruition. It's very rare you see somebody go. I think Stroud might be the strangest case, of all, where you come to a team that was so bad, had been bad. Like the Colts were really good, were a playoff team, then had one really bad year because they lost Peyton, and then they were a playoff team again. But a lot of players are still there. Texas has been bad for a long time. Okay, so there was some talent there, but unproven talent. It is a right mix at the right time with the right coaching staff, all that stuff, and Stroud being in place and what have you. But that's one situation out of decades that I've seen this happen. And you come in here, and I guess the Bears felt that everything was in place, but your coaching staff was still a question mark. Your offensive coordinator wasn't in place. Your head coach had question marks. He saved his job at the end of the year. It wasn't like he was emphatically the guy that was going to be your leader going forward. Your offensive line had never been in place. You had problems with offensive line since you've been here. You didn't solve them. They were a little bit better, but as much as we malign, or as much as not we, but as much as Justin was maligned for not being the quarterback that you wanted, there are a lot of things he did that made this team look relevant. And him running probably made the line look a little bit better at times. You only had one receiver.
One-score games, yeah.
You only had one receiver, DJ Moore. You didn't have, a strong list of receivers. Your defensive line, your defense looked to be the best, but you still had questions on the defensive line. You didn't have another outside edge rusher on the opposite side. You still didn't have a true three technique at that position to really make that defense go. And you came in at quarterback, okay, it's all on you, young man. And you didn't have a veteran in place for him to learn under. So you gave him the job. I'm not saying I'm not saying that Caleb didn't do anything to earn it. What I'm saying was you gave him a job. It's like if I went to a job and there was no one there and I had never done that job at that level, specifically for what that corporation needed. Like, sure, I worked camera in college. I come here and all of a sudden they put me on live shows. And I got to work, a jib camera, or I got to work a Steadicam. Well, yeah, I've had in college I did some stuff, but I got to come here and it's like a Beyonce concert. All right, go. It's on you.
Figure it out.
Yeah, what the hell
figure it out quick, kid.
I thought you said this guy was talented. Yeah, he's talented, but he's never done this before with that type of, all those things going on around
level.
you. Yeah, it's a lot. And you're entrusting him. And there's no veteran. There's no one there to kind of say, this is how we do what we do. This is how we troubleshoot if this happens. I thought that was a gross mistake right there.
Yep.
And Bajent, at this point, hell, by October, Caleb played more games than Bajent did. So he's not going to really show you anything. So yeah, man. Do I trust polls? No, man. Is there someone better? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not saying you really might need to look at this situation and say we just need to purge. If we're not going to screw this kid up anymore, purge everything. You think about my guy Goff when he was with the Rams, and Jeff Fisher was his coach, and Goff looked like, oh my God, this is a bust. Why'd you draft this guy? Wirtz looked better. Carson looked a lot better at the time. It's like, man, dude, how'd you miss out on California? I mean, like, he don't have a strong, all the things that you start nitpicking at just escalated. And then you get McVay comes in there with his staff, and all of a sudden, dude, they're a playoff caliber team, and Goff is in the shootout with Mahomes, where it's like one of the most enjoyable games, in terms of the straight shootouts that we've seen in quite some time. And he's passing for 3 and 4 and 5 touchdowns, and he's put up big numbers, and eventually get to the Super Bowl. But what did the Rams do? They cleaned house. I don't know if they cleaned house with the GM or not. I can't recall, so I don't want to be disingenuous there. But you might really need to consider we need a completely different direction. We need to overhaul. Because the reason why I say that, how are you going to be appealing to any coach that out there, any quality coach out there? How are you going to be appealing to the quality players and the talented players that you need, especially on offense, where there's been the biggest historical issue with the Bears in terms of having a modern offense? I mean, you could Trestman, 1 or 2 years, the offense looked nice. Kramer. I mean, even in the Super Bowl year, the offense, it was still a basic offense. The last Super Bowl year we had, it's kind of a basic offense. Yep. It has to be modernized in a way that's going to be competitive and appealing, so that players and coaches want to come here. I don't know that if I'm a coach right now, I'm looking at polls and saying, you know what you're doing. The Bears look completely dysfunctional, and each week it looks worse. And the only national attention we're getting right now is bad national attention. And people are going to feel sorry for Caleb just like they feel sorry for Justin. And at the end of the day, the fans are the ones that are sorriest, because we're watching all this talent be not only underutilized, but mangled. Like, you did. Look, man, no doubt Justin needed help on some things, but this staff didn't do it. So that kid may just be a career backup at best at this point right now. And Caleb, like you just said, you were just screaming about he's going to be sacked 155 times this year.
That's not a recipe for success. That's for sure.
And what is that? And not only that, but everything around him is chaotic. So how is that? How, not just on the field, but is Caleb going to start trusting anybody in that room? And what is his team telling him? Like, man, dude, we're going to get you out as quick as we can. Well, I don't know what they're telling him.
Yep.
At this point, it's going to be do what you think is best for you, because you're the one out there running for your life. And once that starts to happen, no one's trusting anybody right now. So you guys are asking me or asking us, or you're opining out loud, do you trust polls? I don't fucking trust anybody right now in that organization. Not a one. You know what? I trust me. You know what I'm going to do for me? For Glynn Alexander Morgan? I'm going to watch the team that I watch as a fan growing up and enjoy that. I'm going to enjoy the Pittsburgh team. Am I batting the Bears? No, I'm always going to be a Bears fan. But I don't have to sit here and take this. Look, you love your parents. Doesn't mean you want to keep taking an ass whooping every time.
Hey, Glynn, we got to run. Great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. But do me a favor, let everybody know where they can find you online.
Hey, as you mentioned before, you can find me at True Glynn Morgan on Twitter/X. I can't leave with X. I just can't. It just sounds weird. Also, too, you can catch me out there on YouTube land with Easy Smoking and GM Podcast. So you get to see this ugly mug, and you get to see the other guys that I talk with as we go at it. And again, we keep it 100. We do not hold back, and we let you know exactly what we think and exactly how we think the Chicago fans out there are feeling. So appreciate you, brother. Again, my apologies early on. Apologize to you for that, most definitely. But yeah, man, thank you as always for allowing me to share some of your space.
Hey, as always, man, love talking football with you, man. We'll be in touch soon.
All right, bro.
All right, thanks. All right, guys. Hey, that's Glynn Morgan, draft analyst from formerly of NBC Sports Chicago. Does a little work for the Big Ten Network, and love talking football with him. So we got to go. We got to go, folks. Everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, have a phenomenal day. If you're in the Chicagoland area, it's cold. All right, dress up, layer. You know how to do. All right, do me a favor. Let your loved ones know you love them. All right, time and tide wait for no man. Things happen really, really, really fast. So let your loved ones know you love them. All right, so for everyone, we're going to replay this at 6 o'clock tonight. All right, so for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Have a phenomenal, phenomenal day. I will see you on Friday. Your boy is out.